Hello, happy Friday. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. As we reported, various road work are ongoing around St. Thomas, and all of them causing some sort of disruption to traffic or businesses. A minor disruption is along Commandant Gata, also known as Bunker Hill Road, where traffic is rerouted for a few hours a day to allow for repairs. But other major projects are causing larger concerns. The Department of Public Works reassures the public that it's all for the better. News 2's April Knight has updates.
Some road work at this intersection at the bottom of Rappoon Hill was causing nightmarish traffic a few days ago. Now it's significantly clearer, and according to the Department of Public Works, by the time they're done, it's going to get even better for motorists. The goal is to remove the constant bottlenecking of cars in this area by adding more lanes.
The entire intersection, so you're expecting to have turn lanes in both directions. That's turn lane to go left or right from any approach. Kmart extends down towards Kmart.
Meanwhile, downtown, the department is working on the underground component of the Main Street Enhancement Project. Public Works Commissioner Gustav James said they're starting with putting in 3 underground piping systems.
We have to install storm drains piping. We have to install water main, which is potable water, water line. Also, there will be some sanitary sewer lines going in.
James said the length of time that this initial phase of construction will take depends on multiple factors, including getting needed materials brought to the island.
It could take several months, but we would like to have it done within about 3 months.
The construction will start in this area, the intersection close to the Enid M. Ball Library. James said they're going to make it as least disruptive as possible to the businesses.
Portions of Main Street, it's going to be worked out with the local vendors as well. We're going to block off portions. We're not going to disrupt the entire street at one time.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
To cap off the week, Senator Neville James held a press conference on St. Croix on Friday and focused on major events that transpired during the last year that senators like himself had to deal with, from the economy recovering from the brink of economic collapse to lawmakers' concerns about the ongoing propane conversion project. Here's more from that press conference.
We want the public to know none of the senators are in support of cranking the propane project if all of the safety requirements have not been met. We don't want to put anybody in harm's way. Of course, we already have a problem with the location of the plant. You know, it's in the wrong place. It's been there for 50, 60 years. You know, matter of fact, we actually went so far in the hearing last Tuesday to ask what's the deal with allowable permits on the South Shore, because that area has been zoned industrial for the last 50, 60 years. So these are the things that we're looking at. And hopefully we'll hear from them. They'll come public with respect to status, so we can get those projects off the ground and get Christiansted repaved, re-energized like we want. Same thing for Fredericksted, same thing for Charlotte.
Meanwhile, at its monthly meeting Thursday on St. Thomas, the governing board of the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority discussed that propane project. They also approved an extension on an existing contract with Majestic Machine and Engineering for repairs, ongoing work, and reassembly of generating Unit 11 on St. Croix. The extension is at no additional cost to the authority. The board also approved an annual tree trimming and right-of-way clearance contract. The governing board on Thursday also formally accepted the 2015 electric and water systems financial audits. The audits revealed that in 2015, the electric system ended with an operating loss of $35.3 million, and the water system also experienced an operating loss of $3.4 million. As is required by the board's bylaws, election of board officers were also held at the first meeting of the authority's new fiscal year. Turn our attention to crime reports. On July 21st, 2016, at approximately 3:58 p.m., a concerned citizen reported while walking their dog, the individual stated he smelled a strong odor, and during careful observation saw what appeared to be a body by the brush area on Mahogany Road in the vicinity of the crusher. Contact was made with the police at that time. Officers arrived on the scene and made an inspection of the area and located a badly decomposed body. This is an active investigation. Cause of death could not be determined until examined by the medical examiner's office. Be sure to count on 2. We will keep you updated. Police in Munich say about 9 people are dead after gunmen opened fire at a shopping mall. Several more people are wounded, and now there is a massive search underway for the men responsible. Steve Nanitz has the latest.
Police in Munich say at least one shooter is still on the loose after opening fire at a McDonald's in a shopping mall. A police spokeswoman says there could be, quote, several dead, but there is no confirmation on casualties at this time. It's also unclear whether there are additional incidents related to this attack and whether more people are involved. The shooting took place a little before 6 p.m. local time at the Olympia shopping mall. At the moment, officials say there is no immediate information about what led to the shooting or possible motive. Police in Munich are urging local residents and tourists to avoid all public areas and avoid posting pictures or video of police operations online. This attack is the latest in a series of recent tragedies in Europe. Last week, 84 people were killed in Nice, France, when a man ran a truck through a celebration for Bastille Day. And earlier this week, a 17-year-old Afghan man injured several people on a train in southern Germany with an axe. I'm Steve Nanitz reporting.
Now, in reaction, President Obama said, "We are going to pledge all of the support that Germany may need in dealing with these circumstances." Speaking in Washington shortly upon learning of the attack. Here's more.
I was a little bit delayed. Some of you are aware there were shootings in Germany, and we don't yet know exactly what's happening there, but obviously our hearts go out to those who may have been injured. It's still an active situation, and Germany is one of our closest allies, so we are going to pledge all the support that they may need in dealing with these circumstances.
The officer involved in Monday's shooting in Miami is Jonathan Aleda. He is a member of the SWAT team and has been employed with the police department for 4 years. In a video that went viral that you see right there, it shows the moments before the North Miami police officer shot an unarmed man with his hands up while he was on the ground. Charles Kinsey, you see there, lying in the video, lying on the ground. Kinsey works as a mental health professional at a group home. He says he was in the street trying to get an upset autistic patient to come back inside. Kinsey says he was pleading with cops to stand down when he was shot.
Also, a second member of our police department involved in Monday's incident has been placed on administrative leave without pay. Commander Emil Holland was placed on leave after evidence of conflicting statements given to the investigators of this specific case. This will not be tolerated.
In other news, Hillary Clinton is getting ready to announce her running mate just days before the Democrats kick off their convention in Philadelphia. This announcement will come after Donald Trump laid out his vision for America at the culmination of the week's Republican convention in Cleveland. Steve Nanitz has the latest on both stories.
As Republicans head home from Cleveland, Democrats are gearing up for their own pep rally in Philadelphia next week. But before that gets underway, priority number 1 for Hillary Clinton, announce her running mate. Sources say Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia,
a very strong supporter of Secretary Clinton,
and Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack.
My support for Hillary Clinton as the next president of the United States is something that's very personal to me.
Are 2 of the top contenders. The announcement is expected to come Friday, followed by a pep rally in Florida on Saturday to formally unveil the new ticket.
We cannot afford to be so politically correct anymore.
Clinton and her running mate will spend much of next week going after the Republican nominee, Donald Trump. His speech Thursday night at the Republican National Convention drew 2 very different responses. Trump supporters praised the speech for its brutal honesty and inspiring call to action.
Poverty and violence at home, war and destruction abroad will last only as long as we continue relying on the same politicians who created them in the first place.
Critics saw the speech as highly negative, with isolationist tones.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
Friday morning before departing Cleveland, Trump delivered this jab at the timing of Clinton's VP pick.
Hillary's trying to pick her vice president as fast as possible because she wants to take away a little of the success that we had at this convention.
In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis.
Keeping our eye on the economy, here's a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. Looking at numbers, we can see the Dow is up 53, NASDAQ 26, S&P 500 up at 9. Coming up on News 2, well, you've heard about the Children's Museum. It's here and the operation is growing. Now tonight, we take you inside. Welcome back. In response to the rise in Zika cases in the territory and the recent discovery that Zika can be sexually transmitted by both men and women, the Department of Health is sponsoring 2 Zika public forums, one in each district. Since pregnant women are at risk of having babies with Zika-related birth defects, pregnant women and their partners are especially encouraged to attend. It will feature Assistant Commissioner of Health, the disease detective, Aaron Harris, who will be coming from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, and much, much more. It's on St. Croix, Tuesday, July 26, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the University of the Virgin Islands Great Hall. Well, it was all about women building up women. That was certainly the atmosphere at the Women Striving for Success conference at the Marriott's Frenchman's Reef on St. Thomas. Women from all walks of life gathered to hear empowering speeches from business ownership to finance, all with the goal of getting them on the path to entrepreneurship. NEWS2's April Knight has that story.
About 150 women came together at the Marriott on Friday. The big goal, empowering women in the community to think big, aim high, and be bold.
The key was just having access to people, bringing speakers, and just having support for each other. And the members instead wanted something bigger and more and more and more until we decided then to incorporate.
The conference drew women from around the United States and the Caribbean, as far south as Curacao.
It reflects actually what we are doing in Curacao, and more, I have to say, it means that we all understand what has to happen for educated great women.
According to keynote speaker Tamika Montgomery, current business trends in America show that the time is right for women to start their journey of entrepreneurship.
First of all, the number of women-owned businesses is now at 10 million. So the number of women-owned businesses in the United States is 10 million. We represent 36% of all small businesses.
Here at the conference, a lot of the women admitted to already having multiple business ideas in their heads that they never start because of excuses, including a lack of resources. But the keynote speaker said it might be a matter of resourcefulness.
So how do you take what you have in the situation that you are in and figure out a way?
And the key is to start somewhere, even though it means starting small. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, women thinking of starting their own businesses are encouraged to visit their local small business agencies. On St. Thomas, that office is in Niski Center, and on St. Croix, it's at the Scion Farm Shopping Center. It's time for our summer fun segment, which we kick off, and we're talking about the Children's Museum. It's here on St. Thomas. Operators opened Phase 1 on March 20th of this year. They recently began fundraising for Phase 2, expected to open by the end of 2016. And they have just gotten their first sponsor, as we shared last night. More on the plans and the museum's objective. The VI Children's Museum, which opened Phase 1 on March 20th of this year, recently began fundraising for Phase 2, expected to be opened by the end of 2016.
The Virgin Islands Children's Museum is an interactive space where we have exhibits and educational programming for children. of all ages.
The VICM is dedicated to providing unique and inspiring experiences through the use of exhibits and educational programming specifically designed for children.
Since we've opened, we've done 28 field trips for public schools and reached 573 students. They come to experience the hands-on exhibits, and we have an interactive curriculum teachers can take back with them and put in their classroom with experiments and examples of, for example, simple machines so that they can do more work in the classroom.
They have just gotten the first sponsor this week. Diamonds International has made a $4,000 contribution for the Pangeo Room.
We've just started fundraising for Phase 2. We're very grateful that Diamonds International is our first sponsor for the Pangeo exhibit. We feel it's an integral part of being downtown is to showcase gems and minerals since it's such an important economic aspect of our island. And we're thrilled that they've embraced our vision. They were the first ones, and hopefully we'll sell all our exhibits and be open by the end of this year.
We're very excited that the Children's Museum has decided to engage the children of the Virgin Islands. It's a wonderful opportunity and one of the best things that's happened for the children in the community in a very long time.
Yes, our regular hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and from Sunday 11 to 4 p.m. We're closed on Mondays.
Now, for more information on sponsorship opportunities, you can contact Sarah Erickson at 340-228-1311, or you can log on to childrensmuseum@gmail.com. More students are getting into that reading challenge. Over 100 summer enrichment school students on St. Croix participated in book swaps held at the Lou Marco Elementary School on Wednesday, July 20th, and at the Claudio Marco Elementary School on Thursday, July 21st, where books were shared across the board. Freedom School students also participated in the book swap at the Claudio Marco School. Students in kindergarten to 5th grade, books in hand, filed to the swap table by grade level for an even exchange of books. On Tuesday, July 19th, Senator Marvin Blyden sat down with some members of the local food industry and a global food distributor to discuss supply issues in the territory. Jean Allison, who is Vice President of International Sales at Cheney Brothers, made a presentation to offer a solution to several of the supply difficulties experienced locally. That presentation included how to resolve issues and the resulting benefits. Mr. Allison also announced the forming of a partnership with VI Finest Foods, LLC, a local wholesaler and owner of West Bay Supermarket. The partnership is welcome news for the Virgin Islands. Senator Blyden commends Mr. Allison of Cheney Brothers and its local partner. Frenchtown Brewing Company is celebrating their first anniversary of craft beer production on St. Thomas on Saturday, July 23rd. The festivities will begin at 6 p.m. in the Frenchtown Beer Garden. It's co-sponsored by Rum Shandy and Pie Hole. Beer lovers will celebrate a year of authentic island-hopped ales. Revelers can try 4 of Frenchtown Brewing's signature ales. The new anniversary ale will be served in addition to their popular flagship beers. Another seasonal fan favorite, the event will feature dinner specials. Complimentary anniversary cake will be shared with the crowd. A raffle with prizes will raise some funds for the Frenchtown Civic Projects. Brewer Kevin Brown and business partner Nicholas Van Heerk opened to a grateful beer-loving public in July 2015 on the 2nd floor, right above Pie Hole. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.